realized he was not asleep. That somewhere over in the night, a transition had taken place. I read the book. In the book, Noah didn't die, but the movies always take book. Both of them had expired. And I sat there on the edge of the bed, David, and this time I tore the other side of the mattress and got that sheet and started dabbing my eye because I was upset with God. How in the world could a loving, compassionate God, David, allow somebody who worked so hard to reach the object of his love, and now he finally got her, she's in her right mind, and they're both dead? Sometimes it seems like life is not fair. Yeah, you love Jerusalem. It's one of the objects of your love, and sometimes it seems like she won't respond to you, but every now and then she shows you some wonderful love, and you get there, and then all of a sudden, cried like a baby. What kind of God would allow that to happen? But then it dawned on me that the woman said, can our love do anything? Can our love get us out of here? And my brothers and sisters, let me be the first to tell you that the God I serve does answer prayer. And it got them out of there. And let me help somebody in here. Sometimes when you love somebody, you gotta let them go. You can't be holding on to folk all the time. You can't hold on to them all the time. Sometimes if you love them, you gotta let them go. And if it's for you, God will restore. Mama may not know your name. Maybe mama just holding on till you can get there. Maybe mama just want to know you all right. Then she transitions, and that's all right, because she's with the Lord. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Sometimes you gotta let go. So my tears of sorrow turned to tears of joy because I understood it better. Yeah, Nicholas Sparks bit off an old story. He even named one of his characters Noah, which was a biblical name. And I say to you, David, that Noah was a wonderful person. His wife had Alzheimer's. She did not even know his name. But here was a man who could have gone anywhere in the world he wanted to go. He could have spent most of his days playing golf. He could have been hanging around his buddies. He could have been traveling toward this entire nation, just driving, riding trains, flying planes. He could have gone anywhere he wanted to go. He could have done anything he wanted to do. He could have hung with his grandchildren. He could have went from house to house of his children. But not this man. This man decided that instead of doing all those things, that he decided he would do it a different way. But I want you to put a pin right there. Y'all know Judge Sandra Day O'Connor? Yeah, her husband had Alzheimer's. And then he fell in love with somebody else in the nursing home. And you know how the paparazzi is. They always want to get ahead on a story and want to paint it in a different angle. Aren't you angry? Aren't you upset? She said, no, because he does not know me. And because I love him, I want him to be happy. And if she makes him happy, so be it. This man, didn't run with his buddies. This man, and let me say something later, y'all can get mad if you want to. He could have even had a friend. He could have had a companion, and nobody would have said anything about it because she did not know him. But not Noah didn't try to take any of those avenues. What Noah did was left his house where it was and decided to move in to an Alzheimer's facility near where the object of his love resided. Couldn't even be in the same room. He just wanted to be close to her. And my brothers and sisters, Nicholas Sparks bit off an old story. Because as I get ready to take my seat, I want to take a theological leap. Because Noah was not the first one to do that. Y'all ought to come on and walk with me. Because a long time ago, we are the object of God's love. God allowed us to live so that we could glorify him and help build his kingdom on But even when we first got started, we got turned around and was ushered in pain and suffering and hard times. And we've been having it a long time. And when God looked down, you can see the tear in the corner of his eye. Wondering what in the world has happened to my creation. Y'all don't hear me. And then the Lord looked down and understood that he got folk down here who are suffering from spiritual Alzheimer's. Somebody's got spiritual dementia. Yeah, we're turning to everything but the God, and we don't even know God's name. We've forgotten God's way and forgotten that it is he that has our being. It is he who woke us up this morning and started us on our way. And I stopped by to tell you, David, when God looked down, it brought tears to his eyes. And I heard the Lord say that I need somebody. There's a great separation that's taking place. I need somebody who's willing to go down and grab the sinful, dirty hand of my Creator and pull it up so that I can put their hand back in my hand. Oh, y'all don't hear me. So God called, said, bring me my book, and said, let's call the roll. He said, what about Moses? No, he's too hot-headed. What about Joshua? No, he's too wet behind the ears. What about Aaron? No, Aaron won't listen to what I have to say. Well, what about some of those others? What about Jeremiah? What about Isaiah? What about Daniel? What about Ezekiel? No, they won't do it. What about Joel? What about Amos? What about Obadiah? What about Zechariah? What about Zephaniah? What about Nahum? What about Micah? No, they won't do it. Then I heard one came out from under the Lamb's table. He said, if you prepare me a body, just give me something to work in. Because you know he was spirit. He needed some arms and he needed some legs and needed some hands and he needed the head. He said, if you prepare me a body, I'll go and get man's hand back in yours. Y'all don't hear me? I see Jesus pull off his golden crown. I see Jesus sit aside his staff of creation. I see Jesus take off his royal diadem. I see Jesus kick off his brazen brass slippers. I see Jesus step out on the edge of glory, put on a ragged veil of human flesh, blood, and bone, hop a ride on the wings of time and sail down through 42 generations. Do you see Jesus? I see Jesus giving sight to blinded eyes. I see Jesus unloose stammering tongues. I see Jesus giving hearing to deaf ears. I see Jesus healing issues of blood. I see Jesus raising the dead. Don't you see him? I see Jesus crawling down the streets of Jerusalem with a cross on his back that did not belong to him. I see Jesus laid down on a cross beam. I see the soldiers putting nails in his hands and spikes in his feet. Don't you hear the hammer ring? They hung him high. They stretched him wide. They dropped him low. And David, I see Jesus. I see Jesus stretch his arm. And I tell you, there's no greater love because he was willing to die that we might live. Do I have a witness in here? There's no greater love than a man who would drive back and forth from Reedsville to East Spencer. There's no greater love when he puts things on hold to come see about those who are sick. There's no greater love. There is no greater love that God has shown for us. Will you have demonstrated?